everything else. You saw it yesterday. I'm going to play for you one of the most, and after all we've been through over the last 10 plus years with the scum in the media, to say one of the most disgusting pieces of agitprop bullshit I've ever seen coming from a left-winger, that's saying a lot. What Ted Lieu just did, this just piece of human waste, is, I mean, even beyond the pale for a group of people in D.C. who the standards couldn't be lower for. Of course, we got the other breaking news. Prince Andrew arrested. We got a massive buildup outside of Iran. Trump speaking at the Board of Peace today. It's an incredibly busy news day. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get right to it. Today's show brought to you by All Family Pharmacy. Get 10% off ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, mebendazole, and one of my favorites, NAD+, at allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino10. Consult a medical professional before taking any medications. I really like All Family Pharmacy. The NAD, I'm all into the biohacking and anti-aging. I'm getting old. I'm 51. I feel every ounce of it, but you got to stay ahead of that. All right. Hey, the last year has opened my eyes to a lot of things, but there's one I found particularly disturbing. There's a lot of infighting going on. We all agree on these things, right? Freedom of speech, the right to life. 2A, the Second Amendment, supporting our military and first responders. We got to stay focused on these things. We got elections coming up. We got a movement to preserve. There's one company that's been fighting for our rights, and they supported this program from the very beginning, and that's Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile. Unlike other mobile phone providers, Patriot Mobile works on three major networks. All three major networks. In fact, you can be on multiple networks on the same phone. Most importantly, their customers enjoy priority service with the same or better quality as their old providers. Patriot Mobile's 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching fast and easy. Guy loves the customer service. His buddy Milton over there. Keep your number, keep your phone, or it's a true story. Keep your phone or upgrade. Go to patriotmobile.com/Dan and get a free month of service with the offer code Dan. This company's been fighting for things we all believe in for over a decade. Let's thank them by making this switch today. PatriotMobile.com/Dan. That's PatriotMobile.com/Dan. And another thing I got to add in as the teaser for the rest of the show. Watching the media people, by the way, I know I own you guys and your outlets. I get it. I understand how you hang on every word and the face clawing and the screeching that you just can't make it go away. That the show keeps coming back every day with hundreds of thousands of audio views and millions of video views. I know it drives you nuts that it's one of the top live streams in the world. I get it. The seethe. I can feel it. The diapers loading up right now. The crying, the screeching. I understand, guys. I understand. But the meltdown yesterday over my interview with Cash, it's got to be one of the greatest double-barrel middle finger moments I've ever had. I just love the fact that you bullshitted people for a year about what we did to produce the safest America since 1900 on the numbers. The Trump administration did that, and you just can't handle it. And we had to correct you, and you couldn't take it. The meltdown yesterday was just gorgeous to watch. I had to put out a tweet about it, and they hang on my every word, every single word, hanging. You're there right now. I see you through the camera. I'll get to that too. First, Wall Street Journal, massive buildup of arms overseas. You do double bells today? Yeah, there. It's all right, Key. No problem. You're fired. Just kidding. U.S. gathers the most air power in the Middle East since the 2003 Iraq invasion. Listen, folks, this is obviously a deadly serious story. I think President Trump and the negotiating team with the Iranians have had enough of their bullshit. There is zero reason to gather this kind of armada, air power, water-based power, naval power overseas in the region and not use it. I've been out for a couple of months. I'm not telling you anything on the inside baseball front. I think it's fairly obvious. However, it's also fairly obvious that the Death to America crowd doesn't like us. Is there going to be an attack? We'll all wait and see and find out together. But this is definitely some gunboat diplomacy, and the president's clearly pissed off at this point that the Iranians, even after the devastating attack in their nuclear facility, cannot seem to get their shit together. And you had one of their PR officials the other day, these Iranian flacks out in the street talking about basically President Trump can't do anything. He said, the Iranians, it's all crap. You guys are full of. I'm not sure that's helping. When you're like a Brock Lesnar type. Brock Lesnar, the WWE UFC guy, was a wrestler in college. The guy's just a man beast. I use this guy all the time because he's probably like one of the most frightening human beings on the planet. If you saw this guy in a dark alley and he had bad intentions, 99.999% of men are totally screwed. The guy would kill you in a second with his bare hands, right? You don't go up and poke the bear. You don't walk down the alley. You just let him walk by. Sometimes you're just gonna lose. And the better part of valor is sometimes to just walk away. You don't go up to go, hey, Brock, let me test this out. There's no testing out. You're gonna get your ass kicked and probably get your neck broken too. The Iranians, you never negotiate like this on the violence end, when violence will be the end game, when you don't have the ability to follow through. It's clear as day they don't have the ability to withstand the U.S. assault. We broke down their air defenses in seconds. And listen, I know there's a lot of disagreement within the Republican tent. That you don't need me to tell you that's okay. You're all free people. You can think for your own. I'm telling you, from my perspective, that's a good thing. It's good that Republicans from the libertarian, conservative, MAGA wing, there's a lot of overlap amongst those three wings. Some there isn't. Foreign affairs is one of those areas where there's pretty much three distinct wings here, maybe more. There's a lot of disagreement on what should happen in Iran. You are entitled to your own opinion. But President Trump, ultimately in the end, is the CIC commander-in-chief, and he's going to make that call. I'm just telling you that this is really expensive to do this. Really expensive to engage in this military buildup like this. There's very little chance they're doing that without some intent to use gunboat diplomacy for something, some end game. What that end game is, we're all going to find out. And listen, keep the disagreement going. That's okay. We're not Democrats. We're not liberals that all parrot the same bullshit message all the time. We're allowed to talk to each other and try to engage in the persuasion game. But the CIC is going to make the call. So you saw yesterday also with the Epstein release, Prince Andrew was arrested, woke up this morning, that had to redo the beginning of the show. Ironically, the beginning of the show today was going to be this Europe, EU trend towards censorship with the Macron thing. I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a minute. One of the most ridiculous public statements I've ever seen from an official out of Macron in France. We had to move that around. So it's interesting that he was arrested last night. And from what we're getting from the early Prince Andrew, of course, and what we're getting from the early reporting is that he was actually arrested at a location and not allowed to kind of turn himself in. So I'm wondering if there's something new they found in the releases that under their law constitutes a crime, because the charge here is misconduct in office. So that we're going to find out as the process evolves. And as the process evolves through their system, their judicial system, Now we'll have people under oath talking about what really happened. So it's interesting how it went down. Because typically with someone like that, you would be negotiating with a lawyer in advance and they would turn themselves in. That's not what happened. I want to caution you on one thing, though, here. And by the way, a lot of this information was already out there with regards to Prince Andrew. A lot of it was already out there. So again, I'm wondering if under their laws, so obviously we live in the United States, we're not subject to UK laws. If they found something in there, and what was the urgency to do it then, last night, in the way they did it? We'll be covering this over the course of the coming days. But I want to caution you on something. I want to play this Ted Lieu clip in a second, so cue that up. They are clearly using every single opportunity with the Epstein release. Clearly. Using every opportunity. Every comma, semicolon, whatever's in there to try to hover a black cloud over President Trump. Folks, the transparency component and the Trump component are two separate arguments. President Trump, every single release they are going to try to nail President Trump because this is a logical kind of end game for them, from Russian collusion to the Ukraine impeachment hoax. It doesn't matter if any of it's true. I just want you to be clear on this, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, communist, whatever your political affiliation listening to the show, there is one side of the aisle that is exclusively full of shit. I'm not telling you again, Republicans are the answer to all your problems. I am not. You got it? Get it? Got it? Good. I'm telling you the cause of all your problems and the lack of trust in institutions and the loss of faith in any kind of truth or lodestar when it comes to media, politics, or anything is the Democrats. They lie about everything all the time. Everything. Nothing they tell you about a policy issue, Epstein, healthcare, taxes, the border, nothing is true. What I saw yesterday in this clip is one of the most grotesque, disgusting abominations I've ever seen from a filth bag of a human being. A disgusting piece of filth. Ted Lieu, L-I-E-U. Here's Ted Lieu on the Epstein files and President Trump. Again, if you've got even kids around, this is just disgusting. Check this out.
Why are Republicans so interested in Bill and Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children.
Folks, there's no doubt getting these things out there.